Bobbyooch from Throttle Junkies here to go over everything I've done to my Slash Ultimate 4x4 short course truck for this year. I can officially say that I'm done. We've done a few videos on little things that I've done to it during the off season, and now we're just going to go over the whole thing. So with that said, let's begin. First we're going to talk about the body. Obviously the body, the paint job that I did. But I'm going to be running for the 2012 season. I would really love if it lasted all 2012. That would be key. Then again, I love painting bodies so much, you know, we all know I'll probably end up having 2 or 3 bodies for the season. So first thing, Nerf bar body mounts. These things are awesome. Very simple to make. Piece of plastic, size them out properly, you know, and best thing to do is make yourself a template. That way on each Nerf bar it comes out exactly the same. Drill it out and simply run some screws and you're pretty much all set. So with that said, let's take it all off and strip this baby down. You can see how easy they come off. Some people I know are going to say, it's a waste of time doing those body mounts. It takes too long putting the body on, taking the body off. And you know what I say about that? Really? Really? The extra, what, 30 seconds is really going to hinder you that much? Personally, I love the fact knowing that it's not just these 4 points that are holding my body and going to allow this to crease. The added support you have from Nerf bar mounts, it's just unbelievable. I mean, they should come factory, plain and simple. Alright, so since we're talking about a body, let's talk about basically our next body, which is the over tray. Plain and simple, man. Keep the truck clean. The cleaner the truck is, the better it is. We've all talked about my scoop, you know, that I built, and very simple. We've talked about it. It's Lexan, it's shoe goo, size it up, very simple. Every time you cut a body out, save your Lexan. As you can see, the way the scoop is set, it's going to collect air through the shock tower, get it in there, keep your internals cool. Also, the scoop I made for the electronic speed control. We got the Lexan in front of it, got the holes drilled. Main reason for the shield, take the dirt from the tires and propel it over the scoop. Thus, in turn, keeping it as free of dirt as possible. All the holes that we have drilled have been screened off because, once again, the whole purpose of a over tray, keep as much dirt out as possible, but at the same time, try and keep your internals as cool as possible. So, with that said, we can take this thing off and continue to everything else. So, now let's go to tires and wheels. I'm running Proline Renegade wheels, Proline bow tie tires, soft compound. Now, as you can see, got a hole cut right here on the tire, another one on the opposite side because the wheels come with holes cut in them, but we have already found, say like my son who happens to be right here. Say hi, Andrew.
Hey.
Alright. He runs a Team Associated SC10 RS. Awesome truck. But what we found is the holes are put inside the wheels, they're not put in the tires. Guess what happens? Dirt gets into the foam, cannot get out. As soon as you put these holes in, dirt starts getting out, much easier to maintain. Alright, let's go on to shocks. This is we are running the Traxxas big bore shocks. We do have bump stops on the shocks, which make it so that this truck will not bottom out off your standard rollers, simple jumps, things like that. It ends up coming roughly about, I'd say, 1/4 of an inch off the ground before the bump stops stop it. Now, what am I using for a bump stop? I am, in fact, using HPI Savage bump stops. Now, the rubber that they're made out of is very forgiving. Which the whole reason for that is that you want chassis slap over big obstacles, you know, things that the truck just simply needs to have chassis slap. If you ran a solid bump stop you would bend a shaft, break a shock tower, break a shock cap. By allowing it to have chassis slap, it's going to eliminate that. Well, maybe not eliminate it. Things are still going to happen, but the chance of having it happen compared to a solid bump stop is much, much less frequent. Also, you can see the shaft cleaners. You can see them floating up. Now, those shaft cleaners right there, all they are extra shock pistons. Now, if you look at, say you watch Monster Jam, something like that, you watch these trucks when they have the undercarriage of the truck running. You see the suspension. You see the plastic discs floating up and down the shock shafts. What are they doing? They're cleaning the shafts. They're keeping the debris off of it. Very important, you know, and obviously if it works for the big truck, it's going to work for a small truck. 8-scale sway bars. Fantastic upgrade. I'm glad I thought about it. I'm glad I did it because they work great. The stock ones are very weak. They don't react to the other side at all. This one right here, you can actually see the other tire react. So you give it a little bit of lift as I compress this shock. You know what that means? It's removing tension from the shock, which means when you're going around the corner, your outside tires, the outside suspension is compressing. In turn, it's going to help compress the inside, which is going to drop your center of gravity, drop your ride height, make the vehicle more stable, make it go through the turns better, and prevent rollovers. Alright, now obviously I have one in the front and I have one in the rear. Not that difficult to make. If you want more info on it, please email me, rcfreak21@hotmail.com. I'm more than happy to give you all the details on how I made it. It is not hard at all. Alright, next we're going to go to electronic speed control. Now, Traxxas makes a wonderful waterproof electronic speed control. The only thing though is that many of you may have found the dirt gets in the button and it gets basically locked. And sometimes, you know, you got to use basically like a pair of dikes or something to pull it out and to even make the button work properly. Very simple solution. Get yourself a shock bladder. Put some liquid rubber on it. Adhere it to the speed control. Now that button has an additional bubble over it. Waterproof. Completely sealed. Ain't going to get no dirt in it. Going to greatly increase the longevity of your electronic speed control. Alright, now let's go to underneath. Now obviously everyone can see that I dyed my chassis blue. We did that on an earlier episode. We can see the holes drilled in the chassis. Now there is another hole drilled in the chassis inside here, as well as this hole. That's to allow dirt that may get into your shaft out underneath, because I don't care what anyone says, you are not, let me repeat this, you are not going to prevent dirt from getting in that shaft enclosure. It's not going to happen. Your best bet is to remove that clear Lexan plastic piece altogether, because otherwise it's just simply not going to work. You're just basically helping the dirt stay in there. Why not help the dirt get out? Next, we have our aluminum skid plate. It's got the Lexan cover. Unfortunately, they do bind. Obviously, I built these recesses. Everything can move freely, and in turn, no binding. Going to greatly, number one, it's going to be more powerful because you don't want to add any more stress to it and in turn robbing your servo of any power. It's also going to help the longevity of your servo. Alright, so I think that pretty much covers everything. We're really ready to go. Yep, we also have the servo here. Forgot to mention that. In the cross braces inside the chassis, you can see where I drilled the holes. Run the wire underneath. You run the wires underneath, behind the radio tray. It comes up underneath, keeps everything a super clean look. And that's pretty much it. So, thanks a lot for watching this year. That's my Slash 4x4. Can't imagine anything else getting done to it for this year. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Let's hope this off-season passes quickly so we can get back to throwing some dirt around. As always, Bobbyooch from Throttle Junkies. Contact me personally, rcfreak21@hotmail.com. And obviously our website, www.throttlegjunkies.com. Rhode Island's best radio control racing club. As always, if you happen to be coming into the Rhode Island area, please contact me. I'll be more than happy to introduce you to the guys, bring you down to the Throttle Junkie compound, and let you show how we do things. Once again, race hard, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.